Hit it. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Week 15 of the NFL is complete. And tonight we have, Broncos versus Chargers to kick off Week 16. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith.
Good morning, good morning. Wow, it's getting kind of, I guess it's getting kind of great for the NFL because Broncos-Chargers, that's a big, big game. Very big game. And last week, Thursday night game was spectacular. So I'm looking forward for tonight's game.
All right. You know, I'm with you, First Lady. I suspect this is going to be entertaining. This week on Shout Out, we have performances from Felece Tillman. Will she find her shining star, get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Milwaukee Bucks are flying high after winning the Emeritus NBA Cup and Giannis being the MVP. Is this a predecessor to an NBA championship for the Bucks? The Bucks are in 5th place in the Eastern Conference, while the Thunder, who they beat, is in 1st place in the Western Conference. Is this the likely matchup we'll see in the finals? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, the Bucks are flying high. They have the best record in the league since November the 12th. They have won 12 of the last 15 games. I don't know why I put November anyway. Let's just put it, okay, let's just say they've had the best record since their 2-8 start. The great thing for the Bucks, they have not even reached their ceiling because Chris Middleton just came back from ankle surgeries. Believe it or not, Spitface, he had 2 ankle surgeries at the same time. Who does that? But anyway, and he didn't even play in the Cup championship because he was ill. He was out with an illness. Giannis and Damian Lillard are becoming the best duo in the NBA. And I'm just going to say this. I watched the game, and in the Emeritus Cup game, it seems that the moment was just a little too big for OKC. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has scored over 30 points in his last 5 games until the Cup, where he was held to 21 points. Now, you would say that the Bucks did a great defensive job. No. Like I said, I watched that game. OKC players missed wide open shots, in particular the 3-point line. They had open shots. They just couldn't make the shot. And that just tells me that OKC showed their youth and their inexperience. I mean, it was a big thing for OKC. You have to remember, the Bucks won a championship. Now, Damian Lillard, he ain't been nowhere near a championship, but at least Giannis and that existing Bucks team, for the most part, they won a championship. And I'm not going to take anything away from the Bucks for their victory because I'm being honest. Based on the Cup game, no, this is not a predecessor to the NBA championship. I still think the Bucks defense is not the best. Like I said, they gave up a lot of open shots to OKC that OKC just didn't make. Giannis and Damian will always play well, score a lot of points. And Giannis, let's face it, Giannis will play individual great defense because he can ball. He's a two-way player. I mean, he had so many blocks at that championship game. But overall, as a collective team, the Bucks defense is not there. And I don't care what you say, as great as an offensive player Lillard is, he's still a liability when it comes to the defense. Can the Bucks beat the Celtics? I don't think so. I could emphatically say no on that. Can they beat the Cavs? Probably not. I'm still on the fence with the Cavs. I'm not sure really what type of team they are because traditionally they've always been a good regular season team. Where they lose is in the playoffs, and that's where I need to see when they get to the playoffs to see what type of team they are. And given which team shows up, the Knicks, I still don't think the Bucks can beat the Knicks if the real Knicks good offensive team shows up. Now, the Knicks got problems with defense. So I don't think the Bucks are coming out of the East. However, the Thunder still can come out of the West if they develop mental toughness. This team seems to me, Spitface, they shrink in big games. And again, that's inexperience and youth. They did last year against the Mavs. They were the better team at that point when they met the Mavs, but again, that was another big game. And again, in the NBA Cup, OKC is a very deep team. This team is, deep. They don't have Chet Holmgren, and they still balling. And Shea Alexander is too great of a player not to lead this team to the Western Conference Championship. But again, like I said, they got to develop mental toughness. They don't have that mental toughness. And again, this is why I don't know if they're going to make it out of the West. Technically, on paper, they should because they do have the best record. They do have I think they have the most deep team in the West. But again, one thing that separates champions, you have to have mental toughness. And I don't think the OKC has it. And I just don't think the Bucks team is really that spectacular besides Giannis and Lillard to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, Spitface, are you all in on the Bucks?
First Lady, after what you just said, I ain't all in on nobody. I'm holding my cards. just saying my man Lillard is just a defensive liability. Just put it on out there. Look, you just a liability. That's rough. That can hurt somebody's ego. And First Lady, this is not a predecessor to the NBA Finals. It is not. And for the next several years, the NBA Cup, the Emirates NBA Cup, if it's Emirates next year, will not be a predecessor toward who will win the West and who will win the East and what the matchup will be. What the Cup has done is in the middle of NFL season, okay, toward the end of the NFL season, the NBA has found a way to have their name up there. Hey, we here, we playing. So to grab some attention without, I'll say, competing with the NFL for audience. They're getting an audience. And the play during the tournament is it's fun, it's interesting. So it adds the right new flavor to the mix. But no way, if you are going to Vegas, do not put your money on the winners of this cup. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will lose. You will lose. I don't have it that the Bucks or the Thunder will be the ones representing their conference for the championship. Nope, neither one of them. I have now I don't think the Cavaliers will either. Hey, Cleveland, I'm not hating on y'all. I ain't hating on y'all. That's right. I grew up in Chicago. I rooted for Michael Jordan, but I ain't hating on y'all. It's just that, First Lady said it. when it comes to playoff time, y'all have had some spectacular runs and went nowhere. You ain't had no dinner. So I'm still looking at them Boston Celtics, and if I'm going to roll the dice on somebody, I'm going with the Knicks. And First Lady, are you trying to say that when you say it was a real Knicks show up, I'm looking around the corner.
Yeah, the real one.
Do I need to send out surprise investigators? Are they MIA? You know, we need to say something. But I trust I roll my dice on the Celtics and Knicks. I'd roll my dice, at least over in the East, and in the West. As First Lady said, the talented team, they got the right mix. But I would probably roll a little bit more with them Grizzlies. And
the Grizzlies?
I would roll over the Thunder. To come
out the West?
Yeah, I would roll a little bit more with the Thunder, with the Grizzlies. And there's a little, either way, not the Thunder. So you just said my man is a liability. All right, First Lady, I gotta leave it alone after that.
All right, the Grizzlies. I mean, I know Ja Morant is back and they're playing okay, but I think there's some other teams that, the Mavs are playing well. Even Houston is playing well. Now, Houston is young also. The interesting thing about the West to me is less defined as who can come out of there. Phoenix, if they could ever get healthy, that's always been a problem with Phoenix because they never healthy all the time. The Nuggets still are not playing well. So, yeah, the Grizzlies, I'm looking at the standing. Grizzlies are in second place, but I don't see the Grizzlies. I would see, to me, the team, when it gets to the playoff, I would look at the Mavs. And I'm not counting the Timberwolves if they get their act together. So, the Nuggets. So it's not really defined as far as, even though the Thunder are leading, like I said, they got to get that mental toughness. But anyway, with that being said, over to you, Spitface.
Don't holler to come back. I've been here for years, rocking my peers, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon, listening to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Reconcile when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch to Kirk Cousins in the form of a benching by the Atlanta Falcons. Aaron Rodgers may longer be the bad man, but he looks great when he up next to Kirk, who has had a total meltdown at the quarterback position. The Falcons have finally decided to go with their their first-round draft pick, Michael Penix Jr., for the remainder of the season. The Falcons still have a shot at the playoffs. Is this a case of making the switch too late because Kirk has a guaranteed $148 million contract? Leroy Satchel Page, Walter Buckman, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking, what you saying? For one thing, Aaron Rodgers has looked a whole bunch better than Kirk. But I think that the problem for the Falcons, and I really can't honestly say that it's a problem, was anybody expecting the Falcons to have some fantastic season this year? Whether it was Captain Kirk or it was their first-round draft pick. Did people all of a sudden go, woo-wee, the Falcons are going to be just dominating Ooh, they're going to just run away with the NFC South. Oh, they're the team to lock down. They're going to be in the NFC championship game and might head to the Super Bowl. I did not meet even a rabid Falcon fan who had that on their radar. No. What the Falcons did was some good football moves. Hey, Minnesota was getting rid of Kirk Cousins after he really had a good season. But they were ready to make a change, and they did. Well, he was available. Here you got this quarterback whose record shows that consistency and that the man can play. Now, he didn't get anybody to no Super Bowls, but he didn't cost the teams a lot. He won more than he lost, and that's always a good record. So they said, hey, make that move. Now, that guaranteed part, I don't know. You know, hey, these boys got big money, deep top pockets. So they made a move because they said, hey, maybe we can be competitive. And if we're competitive, well, and we got this first-round draft pick, we can groom it. You know, nothing dramatic about that decision. But when it comes to the when to make the switch, I think that's where how many games you got to lose, you know, before you say, okay, dude, you know, I don't know what it is, but we're going to have to bench you, man, so you can work this on out. Because either there's some physical going on or there might be some physical because, hey, you know, Aaron Rodgers has stretched it out. Brady stretched it out. But, you know, my man might have just hit that wall. So, First Lady, I think that they waiting cost them a true shot at the playoffs, given the way the NFC South is. You know, really, it's because of that's the only reason. But other than that, I think they did wait too late to make sure that they stayed competitive. But I had no expectations the Falcons were, like I said, gonna, you know, be some breakthrough team this year. And they, other than that guaranteed part and waiting to make the switch, that is questionable. So, firstly, the Falcons need some of that Georgia Bulldog bite. What you say?
Well, I mean, the Falcons and Raheem Morris definitely are rolling the dice to give Michael Penix Jr. a shot because, this is really the most critical time of the year for NFL teams that are fighting for the playoffs. They're only one game behind the Buccaneers for the NFC South division, and I believe that's their only path into the playoffs, but they also have a slim chance to get the wild card. Yeah, Kirk Cousins has been horrible, absolutely horrible the last 4 games. So the question is, did they wait too long because of his money? No, I don't think they waited too long because of his money. I mean, they gave him every opportunity to do something, and I just think right now they have no choice. I mean, they still have a choice, but they really have no choice because in the last 4 games, Kirk Cousins has been outright horrible. He's only had 1 touchdown, which he just did Monday night against. I was against. They played the Raiders, or did they play? I forgot who they played, but he just threw his first touchdown within 4 games. He only passed for 1,068 yards, has a passer rating of 62%, and he's had 8 interceptions within 4 games. So, I mean, those statistics really tell you why Raheem Morris is rolling the dice and going to go with Michael Penix Jr. In addition to that, they supposedly have the easiest remaining schedule in league. I don't know about the easiest because I'm going to talk about the Bucs schedule, which I think is even easier than the Falcons schedule. But the Falcons play the Giants. That's like a gimme game. So, I mean, if you're going to put Penix in the game, you can put him against the Giants because I don't care what he does, they probably not going to lose that game because the Giants are god-awful. Now, the next game after the Giants is the Commanders. That's a tough game. And the reason why that's a tough game because the Commanders are also fighting for a playoff spot. So, I mean, that's going to be a tough game. So if Penix does well against the Giants, then, yeah, you can slide him in against the Commanders. Now, if he doesn't do well against the Giants, then guess what? You can go back to Kirk Cousins because probably sitting Kirk Cousins for 1 week would put fire under him and maybe he'll play better. Now, after the Commanders, they play the Panthers. So I would say 2 of the 3 games are easy games. So I think that's the reason why they're rolling the dice with Penix. I just don't see Cousins probably coming back in if Penix does really well. You know, Penix, even though he hasn't played this year, he's played a lot of college games. And they said out of all the quarterbacks, he probably was the most pro-ready quarterback. It was surprising that the Falcons had drafted him when they paid Kirk Cousins all that money. It was a shocker on draft night, but guess what? Maybe they're going to look pretty good on this decision after Cousins has looked horrible. Now the Bucks, who's leading the
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout-out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Felece Tillman.
On Shout-Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout-out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. On the first part of Shout-Out, we are featuring music from Felece Tillman out of Washington, D.C. from her hit album, Soulful Tales. They say Felece Tillman is a Washington, D.C.-based independent R&B and jazz vocalist, songwriter, storyteller, recording artist, and creative talent. With a career spanning over 30 years, she has captivated audience with her rich lyric soprano voice that spans 4 octaves. Let's hear the first track from her hit album, Push Me Away.
Your touch, your heart, your warmth.
right. That was You Push Me Away. And it looks like we're having a bit of technical difficulty here this morning. So we're going to let the good technical peoples do something here. Come on. But we will work it on out. Now, the First Lady... okay, great. We got the First Lady back. We was having a little technical difficulty there. But First Lady, I don't know when the system booted you off, but the song did finish.
Yeah, the song finished. I heard most of the song. Yeah, I got booted off. You know how you have those technical problems. But yes, Felece Tillman, I'm going to give the song a shout out. It was very smooth, jazzy R&B, and it seemed like it had a little gospel feel to it too. So I'm definitely going to shout it out. Spitface, I don't know if you already gave your opinion, but you're going to hit the mute or you're going to shout it out?
No, I'm going to shout it out. Felece was rather smooth, and as she said, her career has spanned over 30 years. So I'm like, hey, she's been delighting earlobes for over 30 years. Go, girl. Go, girl. I'm shouting it out.
All right. Well, on part 2 of Shout Out, we'll feature another performance from Felece Tillman. And thank God she gave another track. You know, some of these artists don't do that. But anyway, we're looking forward to another Felece Tillman soundtrack. All right. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
Time for Flip It, where our host defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Kansas City is sitting pretty at 13-1, but we wonder, will they lose one more game during the regular season? Defend. KC has clinched everything. They will be resting players. They will lose at least one more game. First Lady, I'm looking at it and having the undefeated season, undefeated regular season, that one loss put the kibosh on that situation. So they're not playing to, hey, look, we can have an unblemished record. We could be the second team to have a undefeated season, win the Super Bowl and all of that. That's gone. And it's been gone for a couple of games. So now is a matter of, look, if we lose one more game, it does not matter. Are we going to put our best troops out there when we have a first round bye? 2, anytime we can give these starters an opportunity to heal, to recoup, catch their breath, before we head into that rough house of a playoff season, is a good day. And we have that luxury, or I should say KC has that luxury where they can say, look, we can start putting in some of these players who don't get a lot of playing time, and they're backing up the starters because something always happens. Somebody gets hurt, somebody go down. Hey, we can get these guys getting some more reps in and live action, so they'll be sharper. And so they're going to rest players, and because of that, they're going to lose a game. Now, they may not lose against Texans, but they're going to lose a game. First Lady, defend.
Well, yeah, they're going. I mean, I look at it this way. First of all, they really haven't clinched everything, so they still need to win best record. So I don't know where they clinched everything. They haven't. I mean, they still got to win best record, and the Bills can beat them best record. Remember, the Bills beat them, so they have the tiebreaker. So they still can, They probably will win the next two games and sit all their starters for the last game of the season, which, they're willing to sacrifice that game. Now, Patrick Mahomes is also he's injured right now with a high ankle sprain. So there's a possibility that he will not even play in one of these games. I don't know if he's going to play against the Texans. I mean, of all of the games, that would be the worst game for him to play because the Texans come with their defense, and they like to rush the quarterback. So you don't want Patrick running around with a high ankle sprain out there. And they have a hard schedule. They got to play the Texans because the Texans are definitely in, I think they've already clinched their divisions. I think they did. They got to play the Steelers, and they got to play the Broncos. All three teams are fighting for playoff positioning. So I definitely expect the Chiefs at least to lose one of these games, especially due to the recent play. They really haven't played well the whole season, even though they're winning. But they're barely winning. And with Patrick being hurt and the difficulty of their schedule, you have to say that they're going to lose one of those games.
All right. All right, so they're going to lose at least one of those games. Okay, First Lady, we know that this is flipping, where we flip the script and defend the opposing view. So let's flip it. Defend. KC wants to head into the playoffs looking lean and mean. They will win out. First Lady, the undefeated season is gone. And as it was mentioned earlier, they haven't quite locked everything down. It just looks that way. Now, the thing about KC is that sometimes they need a little Mahomes magic to win, but they can win out without Mahomes magic. For all three of their remaining games. Now, when the last game of the season, I'm not sure who they're playing. If that team isn't in playoff contention, and their players are looking at, hey, we don't have anything to lose other than to say that, yay, we beat KC. KC will win that game. And they want to win out. They want to go into they're going to have their first round bye. And they want to go into the playoffs looking like, hey, on the upswing. No, we didn't lose anything. Because if we got to face those mean Detroit Lions, because we know the Detroit coach want to win every game. So they're going to give it 100%. KC will also. First Lady, what you saying?
Of course, KC wants to head into the playoff looking lean and mean, but also they want to have the best record, in the league for home field advantage. This will make all the difference if they end up playing the Bills in the conference championship game. Home field advantage is a big thing because I think if they don't have it against the Bills will win in Buffalo. And in addition, based upon their seeding, they'll get a bye. So you want to play your players down to the end because what usually happens, I've noticed, the wild card team has to play all the way, and that's why they come in hot, and the teams with the byes come in very, very rusty. So, it happens quite frequently that a wild card team does go to the Super Bowl. But the thing is, KC, they need the repetition. They also need to get Patrick Mahomes healthy, so let him play on that ankle so he'll be healthy because they don't have time to rest Patrick right now. This is not the NBA. They don't rest players. These players in the NFL, they play hurt. They only don't play when they're injured. I mean, that's the big difference. It's a shame when I think about it because all the guaranteed contracts that the NBA players get and the poor NFL players don't get guaranteed contracts. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, I will say that the KC want to play these games because they need to go into the playoffs lean, and a winning machine. So play your players. Play them. All right. That's it.
This is not the NBA. We're going to play you. First Lady, over to you for more Flip It.
That's right. We flipped it part 2. Currently, the Raiders are in a position to have the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft. If they get the number 1 pick, should they take a certain quarterback who just won he didn't win the Heisman Trophy. Should they take he didn't win the Heisman. His partner won the Heisman Trophy, but should they pick the quarterback that fed the Heisman Trophy winner all them passes? Fit-face defense. The Raiders need so much help across the board. They should trade the pick for a boatload of picks and start rebuilding the team. Defend.
The temptation for the Raiders is to go after that top QB who, thank you for the correction, and we will get that down to the writers that his teammate won the Heisman Trophy. Okay, but he was in contention. The Raiders, every year it seems like they avoid doing the thing that they need to do, which is not find another quarterback. No, what they need to do is rebuild. Raider Nation has been seeing de facto rebuilding probably for the last 30 years, So it's like, look, guys, why don't y'all just break down and say, you know what, there will be a quarterback, but we got so many gaping holes all over the place. This team has to get built up so that when we do get our future quarterback, there's a structure there that's in place. And right now, whether it's the coach, whether it's agent play, bloated, all of that stuff, they just need so much. And right now, they can rob these teams with picks and future picks and what they need. They need to give up that pick so that they can have a boatload of picks. That's what I'm saying, First Lady. And I think we got the First Lady muted.
They just have a lot of technical problems today. What's going on? Frog Panties and sports.
It must be holiday season. I think they've been hitting the holiday punch and eggnog.
Well, you know what? I mean, what I was saying was that the Raiders, I mean, like you said, I mean, they've definitely got a great quarterback out there. And there's several great quarterbacks. I think it's like only maybe 3 of them out there that they have to choose from. But Mark Davis needs to come to the conclusion that it's time for this team to rebuild. They got to rebuild. There is no question about it. They have to rebuild the Raiders team. Raider Nation is tired of being in last place, tired of going in no direction, and that's right now. They have no direction. They're not even mediocre. That's the sad part about it. I mean, if you're mediocre, you might have add a few pieces here and there, like having a quarterback would make all the difference in the world. But even if they get the top quarterback, it's not going to make any difference in the world. So you got to build an infrastructure first before you get a top quarterback. So that's what they need to do. They need to build their defense. They need to build their offensive line. And like you said, giving up that number one pick will get them a boatload of other draft picks. And there's several teams, the Jets. I mean, there's not the Falcons, but there's some other teams out there that need a quarterback. So I would definitely, if I'm the Raiders and Mark Davis, swallow your pride. This is not your father's team. This is your team. You got to build your own team, and this is not the Raiders of the past. This is the Raiders of the future, and you got to think about your future, and you got to start to rebuild this team. Rebuild it. All right. So it's time. We're going to flip it. Spit face. Defend. The Raiders would be foolish not to take the number one player available who has been putting up billboards saying he wants to be a Raider. Well, spit face. All right. Well,
you know, you know, when I look at it, First Lady, and I'm like, Shador has not been really quiet about the fact that he wants to be a Raider. And given his talent, given that his teammate may go before him, but he'll be the first quarterback taken, you know, by somebody real quick. And odds are the Raiders will have that choice. The Raiders just need so much. And the Raiders also want to put fans in the seats. And Raider Nation may support them in a rebuild and all that because they need it. But that might not necessarily put the fans in the seats because they want to see some competition. And Sanders, bringing Sanders in, whether he plays good, bad, or whatever, it's going to put people are going to want to see what this boy can do. And, you know, so he just has that kind of splash that I'll put it like this, his daddy would be proud of. But the Raiders would be, right now they need so much, but they need to put people in the seats, keep people watching, if not for the Raiders, to see what Sanders is going to do. So in one way, I won't say that no player is bigger than the team, but the quarterbacks are the stars. And if you got a star, you know, and things work out, you're not losing. You're not losing. Also, players may want to come to your team where it's like, hey, you know what, I can get the same money with the Raiders as I can get with another team. But, hey, they got Sanders. They're about to get some shine. I think I want to go there. So there are a lot of advantages to bringing this young man in, a whole bunch of them. And I can't imagine what Raider Nation will go through if they don't. Oh, man, the Raiders come up with a defensive tackle, such and such, you know, and they go, but you let Sanders get away? It's unfathomable. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, look, I'm saying spit face. They need to draft Shador Sanders, and so they need to hire his father. That's what they need. They need to bring the 1-2 punch to the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, this team has been so deprived of a winning culture. And that's one thing Deion can bring. He can bring a winning culture. And Sanders, Shador, he's a winning quarterback. He's the best prospect out there. And, I mean, you got to hire them from you got to do it. I mean, you got to do it. I know Deion said he wasn't coming. He wasn't leaving the Buffaloes, the Colorado Buffaloes. But if you throw a lot of money at him, which Mark Davis has, he'll leave. I mean, this is the situation. The Raiders, I mean, They haven't really had a great quarterback since Derek Carr, and Derek Carr wasn't that great his last couple of years in Las Vegas. They got Jimmy Garoppolo, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. I mean, really? I mean, really. I mean, come on now. We need some help in Raider Nation. I mean, I understand what you're saying, the ticket sales, but that's a fan base that's always going to be helpful, and they're going to come out and show. Now, I don't know what their numbers have been currently in Las Vegas. I mean, but Oakland, the reason why they left Oakland wasn't because the fans didn't support them. They wanted to build the stadium. I think they couldn't build the stadium. They wanted to make more money, and they want to have a larger stadium. So that's what happened there. But, I mean, they are Showtime. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is like prime time junior there. And I just think this is like a no-brainer, a true no-brainer. Now, Deion may not come this year, but he'll probably be eventually there. So even though they can't get him this year, I still think they still got to draft Shedeur Sanders, and they need to make it a thing that they can get Deion later, and we'll see how that goes. But I truly believe he's the right one. Shedeur Sanders is the right person for their team. So we'll see. I think this is time for Raider Nation to turn a new page on their team and to get this team on the right track. Because now that you have, if you have Shedeur Sanders, I mean, they still got some young pieces on the offense. They actually have a pretty decent wide receiver core too. So it's not all that they need to get a whole bunch of pieces to make this team respectable, but Shedeur Sanders will be the start of making Raider Nation a good team again. All right, Spitface. Yes, Spitface, please take us to break.
So you're saying they need to kick Antonio to the curb. Okay, on the other side of the break, we have another performance.
That's a done deal.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Felece Tillman on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, on the second part of shout-out, we are featuring more music from Felece Tillman. Let's hear I Can't Forget. I Can't Forget You.
Time that we met, ooh, your smile
All right, First Lady, what's the verdict? Is I can't forget getting a shout out or the mute button.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to shout it out. Miss Felece Tillman has skills, very nice voice. The production of her music is excellent, too. So very classy. I'm going to shout her out.
All right, you shouting her out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give it the Funky Cole Medina Award. That was a jamming track. I like it. So I'm shouting it out. That is the end of shout out. You can check out Felece Tillman at FeliceSoulJazz.com. And Felece is FELECE. SoulJazz.com and the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right. It's time for the picks. And we are in week 16 of the picks. Now, last week 15, the results were Dizzy Mac had a minus 100 million points. Spitface, you had 100 million points. And I had 200 million points. So the totals as of today's date through week 15, Dizzy Mac is bringing up the rear at 683 million points. Spitface, you're coming in at second at 1,173 million points. And I'm got a big lead, but nothing is safe. I'm at 2,423 million points. All right. So we got the Thursday Got You game, which is worth 250 million points. We'll make sure Dizzy Mac give us our results for Thursday, which he missed last week. I have to shout him out on that. All right. Broncos versus the Chargers. Woo! Good game. Now, both the teams need to win. The Chargers, the Chargers need to win. And they had
they had the same division.
They had a bad loss, too, against the Green Bay. Green Bay blitzed them. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. They've really been playing real well. And, I'm going to go with the Broncos. Face, who do you have?
I like the Broncos' defense a little bit better than the Chargers. But I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Them Chargers, they have a tendency to lose games when it counts.
Yeah, I've seen them choke or the Browns, they're the ones with the black cat running around the stadium. Somebody get hurt,
All right. Okay, so let's go to our winners and losers. These games are worth 100 million points. Spitface, Texans versus the Chiefs. Who do you have?
Chiefs.
I really we're doing this on Thursday. Unfortunately, I don't know if Mr. Mahomes is playing. Because do you know who the backup is for the Chiefs? I know. Do you know, Spitface?
I do not recall him.
It is Carson Wentz is the backup.
Oh, okay. Oh.
The Carson Wentz. Boy, oh boy. That was the name of the guy I remember. He was going to be the MVP. MVP. I think he had tore his ACL or Achilles. I can't remember.
Right. Yeah, that was like that. On that Super Bowl run.
Foles came in and won the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz has never been the same.
Yep.
Has never been the same. But this is a tough one for me. Very, very tough. I never go against the Chiefs. I'm going to pick the Chiefs, but I'm going to tell you the Texans definitely could win this game. Ooh, these are tough games. Ravens versus the Steelers. Oh, man. Ooh. Well, they say
battle for the division.
Jackson, as Lamar Jackson cannot beat the Steelers. Steelers is Lamar Jackson's kryptonite. Steelers lost last week. I think the Steelers need to win because this is for the division. So I'm going to go with the Steelers. Bitface, who do you have?
Well, I'm a little bit scared to go with the Steelers because, and it's mainly because of Russell. And not that he does anything wrong, but the Ravens will disrupt things. And Russell just seemed like he ain't got the kind of, got that little speed he used to have, like he wasn't the fastest guy, but he's starting to look a little lead-footed. So I'm kind of worried. But Steelers at home, I'm going with the Steelers.
Okay, that sounded like you were going with the Ravens. You were worried. Okay.
I'm still worried, but I'm going to go with it.
Still worried. Rams versus the Jets. The Rams have been on a roll. They've been on the roll. All right, Spitface, who are you going with, the Rams or the Jets?
I'm going to roll with the Rams, but I go, the Jets, they got nothing to lose. I'll put it like this. They ain't got nothing to lose.
They ain't got nothing to lose. And Aaron Rodgers had a great game last week for the 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
That's it.
And he had a nice game last week. So, but I'm going with the Rams because the Rams got a chance to win and get into the playoff. And who would have thought that earlier in the season after all the injuries they've had? Yeah. All right. Oh, my God, these games are something. Man, give kudos to the NFL for putting these games together, which they didn't know who was going to be, they didn't know which teams were going to be good at the end of the season. And it turns out these are some darn good games that have a lot of meaning. You got the Eagles versus the Commanders. And, oh, my goodness, the Eagles versus the Commanders. Who needs this game more? I would say the Commanders need it more, but you know what? Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm going with the Eagles. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
I got to roll with the Eagles.
Yeah, rivalry games are tough ones. All right, Vikings versus the Seahawks. This is another game that has a lot of meanings. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
Well, the Vikings look real good beating up on the Bears. but I got to, but they'll be outside. They'll be on the road. I'm going with the Commanders. I'm going with the Seahawks. Oh, wait. Geno is not playing.
Is he? He's injured.
Yeah, I thought Geno wasn't.
Is he playing?
I don't think Geno is playing. So
let's see. I can give you some intel. Let's see. Geno Smith.
Is Geno playing?
All right. Is Geno playing?
Is pizza being delivered? Is Geno playing this week?
I don't know. We'll see. He might be out. All right.
I think he may be out. I'm going with the Vikings.
Okay, you can go with okay. Well, he avoided serious injury. He was scheduled to practice Wednesday. This is, let me see what today's date with this. They said he went through walkthrough. So,
okay. Well, I'm still going to go with the Vikings.
Okay, you're going to go with the Vikings. Okay, I had these for the Seahawks, and you like to pick the Seahawks. I'm definitely going with the Vikings. I think the Vikings have a chance. They control their own destiny. So they have meaning. So now the 49ers versus Dolphins. Now this game has only meaning for the Dolphins, who have a slim, when I say slim, maybe 5% chance of getting in the playoffs. They got to depend on a whole bunch of other teams to lose. So, the 49ers are going to be playing in Miami. It's not really hot in Miami now. When them teams play in Miami in September, they suffer. Now, the 49ers, after what happened last week, they kind of that action of the player that just walked off the field kind of galvanized the team a little bit, even though they had playing for absolutely nothing but pride. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. I'm not rooting against my home team, but to be honest with you, I just want them to be out of the playoffs because they don't got a chance. So I think they just need to give up right now because they don't have a chance and get our hopes up thinking that they're going to get into the playoffs just because they're going to win and make it look good down the end. Nah. I'm going with the 49ers. Who you going with, Spitface?
I'm going with them fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went with them last week and they didn't win.
We shall
That's
see.
it. Yeah, right. You went last week. You picked them. Oh no, you picked the Texans. Or no, I thought you picked the fish. I think you picked the fish last week. I have to double check that. But anyway, all right. Let's get to Sunday night.
I went with the fish.
Yeah,
and the Texans whipped it. Well, the Texans won, but they didn't really whoop up on them.
No, yeah, they won. All right. Sunday Night Madness worth 250 million points. Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? All right. Spitface, who you choosing?
Shoot, the Cowboys, they won a game at home?
Yeah, I think they finally won a game. I forgot who they played. I think they won one game. Yeah, they won one game.
Home cooking ain't done them no real good. And I'm going with the Bucks. They playing some really good ball.
Yeah, I'm going with the Buccaneers too. You got to give credit where credit due. Oh gosh, I forgot the quarterback name. What's his name? Baker Mayfield. He has resurrected his career. He did well as a backup last year for the 49ers. Or was the 49ers or the Rams? I can't remember. I think it was the 49ers who was the backup. And that spearheaded him to get a contract with the Buccaneers, and he has done well. You got to give him props. So I'm definitely going to go with the Buccaneers, and that's going to be the Sunday night game. To me, they seem like they should. I don't know why they didn't flip that Sunday night game for some of these, deflect it for some of these other games that are more meaningful. But I guess it is meaningful for the Bucks. But anyway, the Cowboys are so bad. But anyway. All right, we'll see how we did from our picks this week, next week. All right, Spitface, what is your top story this week?
My top story this week is about I don't want to say old, but in the world of sports is old, Lindsey Vonn, and the critics who think she's crazy to return to ski racing at age 40. I go, get him, Lindsey, get him.
So when you say ski racing, she's done what she was doing before, or not speed skating, skiing. Okay, she's going back to ski racing. Okay, yep. All right, okay.
At 40, she go in there. They're telling her it's a young girl's game. She's like, no.
Okay. Well, my top story to watch is about the NBA because there's been a lot of chatter about the NBA and the recent fall in their viewing numbers. The NBA thought they would get a bounce from the Emeritus Cup. So that's what I'm going to watch this week is to see, are they still talking about the low viewership for the NBA? They've been talking about has the 3-point shot ruined the NBA? I seem to think it has, and producer, we need to do a flip it on that one because that's something that they've been talking about. Does the NBA game they're saying the NBA game is so boring now because of the fact that these people a lot of the players are shooting 3-point and they're not equipped to shoot the 3-point. Unfortunately, Stephen Curry effect has changed the NBA a lot, but I think it's changed it in a negative way because not everybody is Steph Curry, and that's all they want to do is shoot three-pointers, and the game is not great. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Is my top story to watch this week. Yeah, so it's a lot when it comes to that situation. All right, this has been Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You've been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.
And you can also check out our current and previous episodes at braspantiesandsports.com and our Facebook page, VP and Sports.